Real Madrid, which took a shocking UEFA Champions League loss midweek, aim to bounce back in the Spanish La Liga as the Whites will play against Villarreal on Saturday. French team Lille beat Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid 1-0 in a Wednesday Champions League match at Stade Pierre-Mauroy to end the visitors' 36-match unbeaten streak in all competitions. Called Les Dogs, Lille, which bagged a historic win at home, also ended the Spanish Giants' 14-game unbeaten run in the Champions League. 4 Real Madrid players have injury problems before Saturday's league match. Belgian goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois, Austrian defender David Alaba, Spanish midfielder Dani Ceballos and Moroccan attacking midfielder Brahim Diaz are expected to miss the Villarreal clash at Madrid's Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. Barcelona have penciled in a return date for Dani Olmo, with the summer signing set to return to action after the international break. Olmo made a great start to life back at Barcelona following his move, but was then sidelined with a hamstring problem. Marca are now reporting that Barcelona hope Olmo will return in their first game after the next international break against Sevilla. The report says Olmo has made considerable progress in his recovery and is feeling good on the comeback trail. The European Union's top court said Friday that some FIFA rules on player transfers are contrary to European Union legislation relating to competition and freedom of movement, in a ruling that will likely lead to a shake-up of the soccer market's regulations and could change the sports economy. The European Court of Justice's ruling came after former France international Lassana Dira legally challenged FIFA rules following a dispute with a club dating back to a decade ago. Dira argued that FIFA's restrictions meant he was unable to find a new club after his contract with Russian club Lokomotiv Moscow was terminated in 2014. FIFA's rules state that if a player terminates his contract without a just cause, the player and any club wishing to sign him are jointly liable for paying compensation to the previous club. Those rules hinder the free movement of players and competition between clubs. The court said in a statement, the rules in question are such as to impede the free movement of professional footballers wishing to develop their activity by going to work for a new club. A number of Anderlecht supporters targeted La Real fans with fragments of broken seats, having also broken the protective screen that had been set up in the away section. Marca have reported that 5 of those involved have been arrested. La Real are furious about the incident and also the fact that there was not a proper stoppage of proceedings. Club captain Mikel Oyarzabal called out UEFA when he spoke post-match. We need to condemn these things that have happened. They can happen. People go home because 4 imbeciles are throwing things. UEFA has to intervene, but they have done nothing. We were telling the match director because things were falling even on the pitch. We have been saying for 15 minutes that they had to stop and they did nothing. It is a clear message for UEFA. Borussia Dortmund will have to make do without Karim Adeyemi, Julian Duranville and Gio Reyna until November, with Nuri Sahin revealing the trio's injury status during his pre-match press conference on Friday. Adeyemi and Duranville both picked up injuries during Tuesday's 7-1 win over Celtic in the UEFA Champions League, while Reyna has been out of action since last month's international break and has now suffered a setback in his bid to return to action. We have a few absentees. Duranville and Adeyemi will be out for a while, Nuri Sahin said. We don't expect them to be available again until after the international break in November. Duranville noticed something during a sprint, but played through it. Unfortunately, he's out for now. That's bitter. He was on a good track. Gio Reyna has also had a setback and his schedule looks similar. Sources suggest that Mourinho should not be ruled out as a candidate for the Everton role. With a resume boasting 3 Premier League titles, Mourinho's experience would be a significant departure from Ditchy's pragmatic approach. The Spanish media have suggested that Jude Bellingham has declined as a footballer since Kylian Mbappé moved to Real Madrid in the summer. Having moved to Spain himself in 2023, the England international Sean enjoyed a dream debut season with Los Blancos. He quickly became one of the very best players in the world following his arrival at Madrid, and throughout his first campaign, he scored 23 goals in 42 appearances, as well as recording 13 assists. It wasn't just a successful season for himself, though. Carlo Ancelotti's men did the double, winning the La Liga title as well as securing their record-extending 15th Champions League trophy. Coming out of the 2-0, 2-3, 2-4 campaign, the midfielder was among the favourites to win the Ballon d'Or this month. The arrival of a certain superstar Frenchman at the Santiago Bernabeu has thrown a spanner in the works though, and according to Spanish outlet AS, his performance levels have declined this season. Chelsea are improving, but the London side are not yet ready to compete with top Premier League clubs like Manchester City and Arsenal. Manager Enzo Maresca said on Friday, Chelsea, who finished 6th last season to miss out on the Champions League and 12th in 2-0, 2-2, 2-3, are 4th in the table with 13 points from 6 games. I don't think we can compete with City and Arsenal. City have worked with the same manager for nearly 9 years, Arsenal for 5 years, and Maresca said ahead of Sunday's game against Nottingham Forest, "If you want to compete, you need that time. It's a huge difference. I am convinced we cannot compete. The target is to improve and to get close slowly. We are not at this moment ready for that. You can continue to improve, but at the end, the more time you are together, the better it is. Not every player has received the same kind of opportunities or prominence. One such player was Hector Fort, the 18-year-old Spanish fullback who seemed to have lost a lot of prominence this season as compared to his previous campaign under the guidance of Xavi Hernandez. Yet, instead of giving up entirely, the player has continuously worked to gain Hansi Flick's trust. Fortunately for him, it seems to have worked out in his favour, as highlighted by SPORT. With each passing game, Fort looks to be gradually gaining Flick's trust and attention more and more with every little step. Having featured to some extent in the last 4 consecutive games, Fort's fortunes at the club are beginning to change for the better. Up until the game against Valladolid, a match that Barcelona won in convincing fashion, it seemed that Fort could up losing all prominence altogether. However, after the full-time whistle of that particular game, Hansi Flick made a certain endearing gesture towards Hector Fort, a hug that showcased a coach who understood his players' frustrations, and he has been much more willing to offer him more chances since that game. Since then, his minutes have definitely increased, but so has his overall confidence. According to Bill, Newell is set to get an opportunity to play in one of the 2 games during the international break. Julian Nagelsmann is planning to share the game time between Newell and Oliver Ballman after first-choice goalkeeper Marc-Andre ter Stegen suffered a season-ending injury while playing for FC Barcelona. Germany will face Netherlands and Bosnia and Herzegovina in the Nations League over the next 2 weeks. Ballman is the favourite to play more games in the absence of ter Stegen, but Newell can make a case for himself by doing well in training and the game he will play. Newell was unfortunate to miss out on the squad in the European Championship despite excelling on loan at VfB Stuttgart. He was cut down from the provisional squad announced by Nagelsmann for the tournament. Newell looked to make up for the lost time in the upcoming international break. Luis Suarez has lifted the lid on how Marcelo Bielsa has created a toxic workplace environment within the Uruguay national team, claiming "It breaks my heart." Bielsa took the reins of the 2-time World Cup winners in May 2023 from caretaker manager Marcelo Broly after Diego Alonso resigned, having failed to guide Uruguay out of the group stage at the 2022 World Cup. Despite Bielsa's pedigree, Suarez revealed the culture set by the former Leeds United boss is not a pleasant one. At the Celeste complex, employees are not allowed to come in and greet us and eat with us, Suarez said on TV show Football Habla. See, they have to be careful even at the door they have to enter. It breaks my heart that this is how life is in the complex today. Macias Vecino was the first to see it coming. Nobody questions the fact that a guy like Vecino, who was 30 years old, left from one day to the next. FIFA on Thursday gave no verdict either way on a Palestinian request to suspend Israel, but instead launched an investigation into allegations of discrimination. At FIFA's Congress in Bangkok in May, the Palestinian Football Association, PFI, called for its Israeli counterpart to be suspended and for Israeli teams to be banned from FIFA competitions. The PFA claims that the Israel Football Association, IFA, has broken FIFA discrimination rules. The accusation came 7 months into Israel's war with Hamas in the Palestinian territory of Gaza. FIFA was initially set to hold an extraordinary session of its ruling council before July 20 to review independent legal analysis and decide how to proceed. However, the deadline was pushed back to give the legal experts more time to complete a report. At the organization's headquarters in Zurich on Thursday, the FIFA Council adopted the recommendations and conclusions reached in the legal analysis. Mundo Deportivo has revealed that Real Madrid are already in contact with Liverpool right-back Trent Alexander-Arnold as part of their plans to strengthen the squad for the 2025-26 season. The outlet suggests that Madrid sporting management is focused on reinforcing both full-back positions, aiming to create competition for Ferland Mendy and Dani Carvajal in the starting lineup. 2 players who have caught their eye for this task are Alphonso Davies and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Korea captain Son Heung-min will not play in 2 World Cup qualifying matches later this month due to a left hamstring injury, the National Football Federation announced Friday. The Korea Football Association said the national team staff had decided to drop Son from the 26-man squad to protect the player's health after Son sustained his injury during a UEFA Europa League match for Tottenham Hotspur against Karabakh on Sept. 26 in London. Son has since missed 2 matches. The Premier League contest against Manchester United and another Europa League match against Ferencvárosi TC, while recovering from the injury. Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes has been given the green light to line up for the Red Devils in Sunday's Premier League clash with Aston Villa at Villa Park. However, Fernandes' 3-game ban for the Premier League red card has been overturned, and his sending off in the Europa League does not impact his availability for Premier League games, so he is fine to skipper the side in the West Midlands. Eric Ten Hag is still missing Lenny Yoro, foot, Luke Shaw, calf, and Tyrell Malaysia knee, though, while Kobbie Mainoo and Mason Mount knocks from the loss to Tottenham need assessing in the coming hours. As Alejandro Garnacho made his mark after coming on, the Englishman could join Rashford, Fernandes and Joshua Zirkzee in the attacking quartet. Mainoo did train before the draw with Porto, but Ten Hag may wish to avoid any unnecessary risks. Neither Matthijs de Ligt nor Lisandro Martinez covered themselves in glory against Porto, and it would not be a surprise to see last-minute hero Harry Maguire replace the latter for this one. Manchester United possible starting lineup: Onana, Maze, Ligt, Maguire, Dalot, Eriksen, Ugarte, Garnacho, Fernandes, Rashford, Zirkzee. Real Madrid star Antonio Rudiger has heaped praise on Liverpool defender Ibrahima Konate whilst sharing his belief that he does not get the credit he deserves. Konate has become a key centre-back for the Reds under Arne Slot. Real Madrid star Antonio Rudiger has heaped praise on Liverpool defender Ibrahima Konate whilst sharing his belief that he does not get the credit he deserves. Konate has become a key centre-back for the Reds under Arne Slot. He is doing very well. He is a bit always under the radar. I don't know why, but I rate him very highly. Germany is currently seeing a complete transformation in its squad. Players are coming in and going out, and by the end of the season, fans are set to see a completely new squad. The national team's latest addition comes after Nicholas Füllkrug, the regular choice for striker under former Bayern Munich manager Julian Nagelsmann, was reported to be struggling with an Achilles tendon problem. Prior to the official roster drop, reports indicated that Nagelsmann was set to call up a new striker. Tim Kleindienst, the striker from Borussia Mönchengladbach, will don the German tricot for the first time, this being the first call-up he has received to the national team. Kleindienst is meant to replace Füllkrug, who is probably just temporarily out until the West Ham United forward recovers fully.